David, I'm making a 10-part video series that is going to touch up on everything you need to know as a musician going forward in this time that you can actually relate to and you don't have to go through all the pitfalls, what I went through when I was starting out my music career. So I wanted to talk about the current season that we're in, which is the pandemic. And it's a very, very stressful time for a lot of musicians. That's why I wanted to make this video series. So, at the beginning of the year, I wanted to start basically doing music as a full-time thing. And I decided to start playing music, and I was making enough money to, just do it full-time. Then the pandemic happened, so it prevented me from getting my business license because everything was closed. So I wanted to make this video about the pandemic insurance, and I know a lot of people who are in Nashville who just got completely hammered. They had to quit playing music, start their own businesses, and just look at music, not of a thing of the past, but kind of a thing of the past for the next year because they're not going to be able to start playing gigs and making money. So what it is I went through that, and I was like, as soon as I started doing music full time, this happened, and it robbed me from all of the money I was going to make because I had a lot of venues interested in having me do Friday night gigs and Saturday night gigs and Wednesday night gigs. I was doing about 3 shows a week. So after the pandemic, I filed for the unemployment. And through the course of about 6 months, I just kept on, doing all the requirements. And then they came to a determination where they awarded me all the back pay from the PUI, which was the pandemic insurance. So there's all these musicians who are like, we lost out on our living. And I can understand because I was playing for tips during the pandemic. As soon as the lockdown was done, I was out there. But what this did is it offered $600 a week in back pay for 13 weeks. And it also offered state. So basically in the last year, or from March 15th to right now, which is September 20th, the back pay was like $14,000. Which as a musician is a very good paycheck. But the thing is, people look at it, it was not unemployment. It was through the unemployment agency. But as musicians who are creative have lost their jobs, when they extended it to musicians, I was like, this could be a really good thing for all the lost wages. And it's something that went through, and without a doubt, it's been one of the most, offered blessings because it's basically like putting your money for a year in a savings account and not touching it. And then when it was available, you were able to just take it and get the things that you needed. And as a musician, you know that those lists are never ending. But I wanted to encourage any musician who was unemployed in a result of COVID-19 that you can still file and you can still make your claim. And if they approve it, you can do it very quickly, and the process might take some time. They screw up a lot. They screwed up on my ID, and they screwed up on a lot of the identification process, which that's why it took 6 months instead of 2 weeks. But one thing that they required is the tax identification number at the restaurants that you play at. Now, I was playing at restaurants where I was making less than $600, so they currently weren't even taxing me for the money that I was making. But because of the executive order, especially the second round, and they extended it to gig workers because it was a special, pandemic-related issue. They were able to take the 3 restaurants I was playing at, their tax identification numbers, run it through the system, show that they were legitimate and that they were actually had me working for them, and then they went ahead and passed the application, and then the back pay started. And now there's a current income that I'll have until December 5th. And it's just something that's really cool as a musician because a lot of people, like I said, they had to quit music for a year and go out and start a freaking lawnmower business so that they would not be out in the cold. And that's something that is very realistic for a lot of people. So if you are a musician, especially in Nashville or LA or New York or Louisiana, New Orleans, or anywhere where your music is your primary source of income, and you can prove that you are working, and you can actually go on this website and you can search your actual restaurant and it shows the tax identification numbers. You don't even have to ask your employer. I asked one, but that's how you can make money. in this pandemic when you've lost your gigs, because we all know that the gigs are coming back probably in 2021. Most of them will be returned. But it's one of those things. I want to make this video so you can be encouraged and you do not have to look at life as like I wasted a year of income or I lost a year of income, but it's something that you can do in the future to give yourself everything that you need. So I hope that this video was helpful, and we'll see you next time.